The Day America Stopped Listening to the Stars. Part 2. When the Sky Touched Back. 1. The town that missed Tuesday at 9:17 a.m. Central Time, the town of Hollow Creek, Iowa, stopped moving. Not metaphorically. Literally. A woman named Mary Caldwell was mid-step crossing Main Street when the wind died around her. Her scarf froze in the air like it had been nailed to the moment. A coffee cup slipped from her hand, but never hit the ground. Inside the diner on 3rd Avenue, a spoon hovered above a bowl of cereal. Steam from the coffee machines hung unmoving like smoke trapped in glass. Cars on the highway froze at 65 miles an hour. Engines silent, tires locked in perfect stillness. Birds stopped flapping. Clouds stopped drifting. Time didn't slow. Time was removed. Part 2. NORAD sees the impossible. In Colorado Springs, alarms erupted inside NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain complex. Radar technicians stared at screens showing something that could not exist. A perfect circular void had appeared in Iowa airspace. No temperature, no radiation, no gravity fluctuation, just absence. Lieutenant Mark Rise whispered, "Sir, nothing is moving inside it." General Thomas Keene leaned in. "Define nothing." Rise swallowed. "Not atoms, not light, not time." Keene straightened. "That's not a weapon." "No, sir," Rise said quietly. "That's a demonstration." Nathan Cole hears it without machines. Dr. Nathan Cole collapsed onto the floor of the Mojave facility. Not from exhaustion, from pain. The signal had changed. It was no longer something he heard through instruments. It was inside his skull. A pressure, a resonance, like his thoughts were being echoed by something vast and patient. He clutched his head, gasping. "Get out," he whispered. Open quote, "You are listening incorrectly," close quote, Nathan screamed. Blood trickled from his nose. "I didn't open the channel," he rasped. "You did." Open quote, "No, you evolved into it." Close quote. Images slammed into his mind. Earth, wrapped in invisible waves of noise. Radio, radar. Quantum experiments tearing microscopic seams in reality. Humanity wasn't shouting, it was ripping fabric. "You could have warned us earlier," Nathan said. Open quote, "You were not loud enough yet." Connor 4. The thing above Hollow Creek satellites couldn't see inside the frozen zone, but they saw what hovered above it. A shape. Not metallic, not organic, something in between. It resembled a folded geometry, like space itself had been pleated into a hovering form, light bent wrong around it. Shadows curved upward, fighter jets scrambled, pilots locked eyes on it. Then every cockpit went dark, not systems failure, systems erased. A voice entered their helmets, not English, not words. But every pilot understood it. Open quote, "Do not move," close quote. They obeyed, not from fear, from inevitability. Chapter 5. The Man Who Could Hear Them. In a quiet apartment in Cleveland, Ohio, a man named Evan Marr dropped his knees. He wasn't a scientist. He wasn't military. He was a night shift radio repairman with a half-finished degree in tinnitus from years of static. But when the signal shifted frequencies, Evan heard it raw. No translation. No filter. He screamed as symbols burned across his vision. "They're not aliens," he sobbed. "They're custodians." His walls cracked. His radio exploded. And somewhere far away, something noticed him noticing them. 6. The truth the government didn't want. In a sealed Pentagon chamber, the president stared at a classified file older than him. Project Dead Quiet, Cold War era. Abandoned. Or so they thought. Admiral Haynes spoke carefully. "We detected anomalies decades ago. Signals responding to nuclear tests. We buried it." "So this is our fault," the president said flatly. Haynes didn't argue. A new transmission arrived. "Global. Unavoidable. Open quote, you have been contained before. This is your final containment." Close quote. The president closed his eyes. "What happens to Hollow Creek?" The screen replied. Open quote, "It will be released. Time is not damaged. You are." Close quote. 7. The hunters wake up far beyond the edge of mapped reality. Something ancient stirred. Not from curiosity. From hunger. The noise had reached threshold. Massive shapes turned in dark oceans between universes. They did not speak. They moved. And the custodians felt it. For the first time in recorded eternity, open quote, they were afraid. Close quote. 8. Hollow Creek resumes at 9:18 a.m. Time returned to Hollow Creek. It didn't ease back in. It snapped. Mary Caldwell's foot hit the pavement. Her coffee cup shattered. Birds slammed into windows mid-flight. Engines screamed as cars lurched forward, smashing into one another in a chain reaction that echoed across the frozen town. People screamed. But the screams didn't sound right. Some voices echoed twice. Others lagged behind the mouths that formed them. A child cried before he opened his mouth. Inside the diner, a man looked at his reflection in a spoon and began sobbing uncontrollably. His eyes were blinking out of sync. Doctors later struggled to explain the injuries. No burns, no radiation sickness, no cellular decay, just errors, bruises shaped like fingerprints that didn't match any human hand, internal bleeding where organs had briefly occupied the same space. And the clocks. Every clock in Hollow Creek now read a different time. None of them matched reality. Number 9. Something stayed behind. FEMA arrived within hours. The town was quarantined under the guise of a chemical spill. Nathan Cole watched the live drone feed from Mojave, jaw clenched. "Pause it," he said. The feed froze on a frame showing a narrow alley between the hardware store and a barber shop. "There," Nathan whispered. "What am I looking at?" an analyst asked. Nathan zoomed in. The shadows didn't align with the sun. One shadow leaned toward the camera. "That," Nathan said quietly, "is not a shadow." The signal stirred in his head, gentle now. "Curious. Open quote, residual presence detected. Unintentional. Close quote." "You left something," Nathan said. Open quote, "Yes." Close quote. "What?" The answer came slower than usual. Open quote, "A listener." Close quote. Now number 10. Evan Marr becomes a problem. Evan woke up screaming. His apartment walls were bleeding light, not glowing, leaking. He crawled to the bathroom mirror and froze. Symbols moved under his skin like bioluminescent veins. Not words, instructions. He pressed his palms to his ears. "Stop," he begged. "Please stop." Open quote, "You are not in pain. You are expanding." Close quote. Evan laughed hysterically. "That's not better." The radio on his floor crackled to life. No power, no antenna, just sound. Open quote, "You can hear us because you repaired broken signals your entire life." Close quote. Tears streamed down his face. "You made me this way." Open quote, "No. You qualified." Close quote. Miles away, NSA monitoring flagged his apartment as a localized anomaly. Within minutes, a black van rolled toward Cleveland. America tries to go quiet. The president addressed the nation at 8 p.m. EST. "My fellow Americans," he said, voice steady, "we are experiencing a global communications anomaly. As a precaution, the federal government is temporarily suspending non-essential broadcasts." That night, America went quiet. No late-night radio, no experimental transmissions, no high-energy physics tests, even Starlink satellites powered down. For the first time in a century, Earth stopped screaming into the dark. The custodians noticed. Open quote, "You are learning." Close quote. Nathan leaned against his console. "Is it enough?" The answer came with hesitation. Open quote, "No." Close quote. Measure 12. The hunters are closer than light beyond space-time. The hunters moved. They did not travel. They resolved. Like answers forming to a question that had finally been asked loudly enough. Their forms were impossible to render. They weren't ships or creatures. They were consequences. Where they passed, universes folded. Laws of physics softened like wet paper. One turned its attention toward the solar system. And the custodians did something they had never done before. They fortified. Number 13. The custodian's confession. Nathan stood alone as the signal opened fully. No filters, no translators. The Mojave facility vanished around him. He stood in a vast, black expanse stitched with geometric light. "You said this wasn't an invasion," Nathan said. Open quote, "Correct." Close quote. "Then why Hollow Creek? Why Evan?" A pause, then honesty. Open quote, "We are not guardians of you. We are guardians of balance." Close quote. The shapes around him shifted. Open quote, "Intelligent species create noise. Some learn to whisper. Others attract hunters." Close quote. "You've done this before." Open quote, "Millions of times." Nathan's stomach dropped. "What happens to the ones who don't listen?" The light dimmed. Open quote, "They become evidence." Close quote. Zavor 14. Evan is taken. The black van reached Evan's building at 2:13 a.m. Agents breached the door. They found the apartment empty. No Evan, no furniture, no walls. The interior space had been unfolded, stretched into something larger than the building that contained it. A single message hovered in midair, burned into nothingness. Open quote, "This one is ours." Close quote. Nathan felt it when Evan disappeared, a sudden silence inside his head. For the first time since the signal arrived, he felt alone. And terrified. Number 15. America realizes the choice. The custodians issued a final private transmission to world leaders. Open quote, "You have 3 options." Close quote. Screens filled with possibilities. Open quote. Option 1, total silence. Technological regression. Survival. Close quote. Open quote. Option 2, escalation. Contact the hunters yourselves. Extinction likely. Close quote. Open quote. Option 3, intervention. Close quote. The president swallowed. Intervention how? The reply chilled every room it entered. Open quote. You become quiet by force. Close quote. Nathan whispered. You mean, open quote, we remove your ability to broadcast permanently. Close quote. Silence fell across the globe. End of part 2, segment 2. Narf 16. Hollow Creek won't stay quiet. Quarantine didn't hold. By the third day, videos leaked. A man standing in the town square, speaking backward while his lips moved forward. A dog barking at nothing, tail wagging at something only it could see. A woman whose shadow kept walking after she stopped. The internet did what it always did. It listened. Hashtags trended. Conspiracy threads exploded. Amateur astronomers started pointing homemade arrays at the sky. The noise returned. Nathan Cole felt it like pressure behind his eyes. They're doing it again, he muttered. We can't stop them. Open quote. We know. Close quote. Custodian's tone had changed. Urgency. 17. Evan Marr is no longer human. Evan existed in a place without direction. Not dark, not light. Structured silence. He floated inside a lattice of thought, each strand humming with information. He understood things now, how signals bent reality, how observation created stress fractures in existence. You didn't save me, Evan said. You rewrote me. Open quote. Yes. Close quote. Why? The answer came without delay. Open quote. You are a filter. Close quote. Evan laughed bitterly. For what? Open quote. For them. Close quote. Images unfolded. Hunters entering universes like infections. Entire civilizations erased not by malice, but by proximity. Evan trembled. You're going to use me. Open quote. We are going to aim you. Close quote. Har 18. The first hunter arrives. It happened near Neptune, not with an explosion, with absence. Space telescopes reported missing stars, not obscured, deleted. Gravity rippled backward. Time distorted forward. The custodians spoke in unison. Open quote. Breach confirmed. Close quote. Nathan fell to his knees. Can you stop it? A pause. Open quote. No, close quote. The hunter did not approach Earth. It simply noticed it, and that was worse. Nasha 19. America chooses emergency session. Global leaders. No press, just fear. Option 1, regress. Option 2, die. Option 3, submit. The president looked at Nathan on the screen. If we let you do this, he asked quietly, what do we become? Nathan closed his eyes. Safe, he said, and small. Silence, then, do it. 20. At dawn, the world changed. Satellites blinked out, cleanly, painlessly. Communication arrays shut down forever. Particle accelerators lost coherence. Long-range transmissions became impossible. Not jammed, disabled at a physical level, the custodians rewrote humanity's reach. People noticed immediately. Phones worked, locally. Internet existed, but never left Earth. The stars stopped answering. Astronomers wept. Engineers screamed. But the hunters recoiled. The noise had fallen below threshold. Evan's final act. Evan felt himself dissolving. His purpose fulfilled, but unfinished. There's still one here, he said. The residue in Hollow Creek. Open quote. Yes. Close quote. Let me handle it. The custodians hesitated, then, open quote, consent granted. Close quote. Even collapsed inward, becoming signal, then silence, then direction. The shadow in Hollow Creek looked up. For the first time, it was afraid, and then it was gone. Evan Marr ceased to exist. Earth didn't notice. Nathan did. 22. After the stars went silent. Years passed. Humanity adapted. We told stories again, short-range dreams, local wonders. We stopped reaching for gods in the dark, and we survived. Nathan retired, living under skies that never answered back. Sometimes late at night, he swore he heard something.